Right, let's get straight into it. Welcome to today's intelligence briefing. What we're looking at today is a tactical dossier that, quite frankly, shatters our fundamental understanding of human history and technological warfare. Buried deep beneath the shifting sands of the Arakum Desert lies a colossal anomaly, a relic from a completely forgotten apocalyptic conflict. Today, we're analyzing the recovered data on SCP-2406. Here is the structure for today's briefing. We're going to cover asset discovery and scale, move into internal engineering and propulsion, examine its tactical armaments and anomalies, delve into the history of the First Occult War, and finally analyze the fall of the machine. Section 1. Asset Discovery and Scale. Let's begin with the initial recovery. Now, the most crucial data point we need to look at right out of the gate is the timeline. The asset, SCP-2406, was actually discovered back in August of 1985 by the Soviet GRU Division P, when they were tracking unusually high radiation spikes in the desert. The Foundation took custody later in 1991. But here is the paradox that literally breaks every known historical model we have. Radiocarbon dating of the organic material found inside this anomaly places its operational time frame firmly between 1200 and 1000 BCE. We are analyzing a highly advanced machine built during the Bronze Age. Let's really put the scale of this thing into perspective. 93 meters. Just take a second and let that sink in. 93 meters. That is the sheer height of this ancient mechanical colossus. It's a towering automaton of unprecedented size, completely dwarfing modern conventional armor. And it weighs an estimated 210 tons. This massive structure is primarily composed of a highly specific alloy, roughly 75 to 80% copper and 15 to 20% zinc, which is what gives it that distinctive bronze appearance. It also has trace amounts of nickel, lead, and iron. It is, without a doubt, a monumental feat of ancient metallurgy. Section 2. Internal Engineering and Propulsion. So you're probably wondering, how on earth does a Bronze Age civilization operate a 210-ton machine? Well, the crucial thing to understand is that this was not a sentient machine. It was manually piloted, and operating it was a grueling, claustrophobic nightmare. It required a highly coordinated team of at least 6 human pilots. These operators had to manually actuate 160 different valves and levers, continuously regulating incredibly complex internal pneumatics, hydraulics, and clockwork just to mobilize the thing's limbs. And the conditions inside that cockpit? Absolutely horrific. Foundation personnel actually recovered the skeletal remains of the 6 pilots still sealed inside. They were wearing Mycenaean-style armor made of lead and copper, lined with raw asbestos fabric. They wore these full, heavy helmets with green-tinted glass visors, and they literally relied on tubes made from goat intestines to feed them outside air. Valve 136 provided momentary water hydration directly to their mouths, and they even used crotch-attached waste expulsion tubes. They were entirely, permanently sealed within this toxic, sweltering environment for combat. But what could possibly power a chassis this incredibly massive? The answer is as brilliant as it is terrifying. The creators of SCP-2406 engineered a functional mimicry of a natural nuclear fission reactor located directly within the automaton's torso. Somehow, they observed self-sustaining nuclear chain reactions in natural uranium deposits and successfully replicated that exact process to propel this machine forward. Moving on to Section 3. Tactical armaments and anomalies. Make no mistake, this machine was built for total war. The right arm of the automaton functioned as a massive chemical delivery system. It featured a nozzle attached to an enormous 20,800-liter internal tank. Now, while it was empty upon discovery, residue analysis confirmed the presence of pine resin, naphtha, quicklime, calcium phosphide, and sulfur. Basically, they were deploying a devastating incendiary weapon, remarkably similar to Greek fire, designed specifically to incinerate biological targets on an unimaginable scale. While the right arm relied on terrestrial chemistry, the left arm presents an entirely different and frankly much darker mystery. Designated SCP-2406-1, this arm was actually not found with the main chassis. It was discovered 32 kilometers away, violently hurled across the desert. But more importantly, the weapon equipped to this severed left arm is considered non-terrestrial in origin and design. It's an apparatus so completely foreign to our understanding of physics that it required its own distinct anomalous classification. Just look at this differential reading, 30 hums. Kant counters register that this severed weapon significantly and dangerously warps local spacetime in its direct vicinity. The Foundation hypothesizes that simply activating this apparatus would cause catastrophic, totally irreparable damage to local reality itself. It wasn't just a weapon, you see. It was an anomalous fail-safe of last resort. Section 4. The First Occult War. Let's delve into the historical theater of war. So, why was an apocalyptic, reality-bending machine ever constructed in the first place? Well, translated scrolls recovered from a watertight cylinder inside the mech reveal a desperate Bronze Age clash. On one side, you have the Followers of Mekhane, the historical precursors to the Church of the Broken God. They were driven by reason, logic, and they were the sole creators of these colossi. On the opposing side was the Sarkic Empire, ruled by Grand Karcist Ion. This was an empire of terrifying biological horrors, fleshcrafters who literally built their domain with the bodies of dead gods. An absolute mythological war of machine versus flesh. You really get a sense of the solemn fanaticism of the ancient pilots when you read this recovered scroll fragment. It reads, "The colossi were constructed in Hiroshima. The profane tools must be broken. Drink deep the silver blood of Mekhane." They truly deeply believed they were holy warriors, fighting to preserve the light of human reason against a sorcerer king who was actively trying to plunge the world into a biological nightmare. The sheer desperation of this conflict is perfectly captured in the final log of Matriarch Euphraxia. She writes, "This is the final testament. We enter his desolate domain, and in our left hand we carry our answer." That chilling final line clearly references the reality-warping weapon on the severed arm we just analyzed. They knew they were marching straight into hell itself, and they brought a weapon capable of tearing reality apart just to stop the enemy. Their final objective was absolute. March for Kythera, halt the Sarkic Dawn. It was a doomed, desperate push through a rapidly collapsing Bronze Age world. Their logs speak of witnessing villages ravaged by the Red Death, encountering the dying, and fighting things that were deathless. They pushed this nuclear titan forward for one reason: to stop a flesh-crafted apocalypse from consuming the Earth. Section 5. Follow the Machine. Which brings us to the grim autopsy of this Colossus's final moments, because despite its heavy armor, its Greek fire, and its reality-bending weaponry, SCP-2406 was brutally defeated. The evidence left on the chassis is horrifyingly clinical. The head, torso, and left leg were found deeply impaled by massive, coral-like organic spines, and testing confirms those spines actually contain distinct human DNA. The outer bronze hull was heavily degraded by an anomalous, highly acidic substance, and most disturbingly of all, there are severe indentations around the torso, suggesting that this 210-ton machine was violently constricted and crushed by a massive, flexible, prehensile appendage. During this catastrophic defeat, the automaton's nuclear core was fatally compromised. It breached its containment, melting right through the back of the machine's torso. And incredibly, it continues to undergo a fission reaction to this day, burning at temperatures well over 1200 degrees Celsius. Over the last 3,000 years, that ancient radioactive core has just been slowly melting its way deeper and deeper into the Earth's crust. Current intelligence estimates place the burning core at approximately 820 meters beneath the surface of the Uralcum Desert. This brings us to a terrifying conclusion, and the one question you really need to take away from this briefing. We know exactly what SCP-2406 was, but what manner of flesh-crafted biological horror was capable of crushing and shattering a 93-meter nuclear-powered reality-bending colossus? And more importantly, does that unknown organism still slumber beneath the desert sands today? That concludes our explainer on the SCP-2406 dossier. Keep your eyes open and stay vigilant. This concludes today's briefing. If you wish to maintain your current clearance level and ensure continued access to the Versarian database, a subscription to this channel is mandatory. Secure your connection by leaving a like on this file, and log your requests in the comments section below to dictate which anomaly we unseal next. Stay vigilant and expect your next set of logs every day. Secure, contain, protect.